First of all, get those thoughts of Kenny Rogers out of your head right now. They're not talking about that gambler. I know, I was pretty disappointed as well. Speaking of disappointment, this episode picks up where Child's Play left off. But then again, it's written by the guy who wrote my all-time favorite single episode of the series, so maybe it won't be that terrible. It'd have to work pretty hard to be as terrible as Child's Play anyhow. So the toy rocket the Autobots piled into runs out of juice well before they get to Earth. And once again, rather than congratulating him for getting him this far, or maybe asking him politely what's gone wrong, everyone decides to yell at Perceptor. Never mind that they still be in some bug-eyed kid's stinky shoebox without his efforts so far. Their ship is captured by a larger vessel, and as they explore, they find themselves encased in glass and confronted by this dude who calls himself Bosch. He has all kinds of mad science going on in his little lab. I mean, look at that! He pulls a lever and electricity goes through some coils. How much more science can you get? His machine nullifies the Autobots' weapons, prevents them from transforming, and drains away their free will. But it's kind of a piece of crap, so it doesn't work on all of them. Smokescreen remains unaffected, which means we're almost certainly looking forward to at least one problem being solved with a dense cloud of smoke. Probably more than one, since he's clearly the main character in this little adventure. Interestingly enough, Bosch throws the word energon around like it's a thing everyone in the galaxy uses. Which is fine, but I'm pretty sure somebody in some previous episode claims to have invented it already. But hey, whatever. Oh, and in keeping with the title, which we only just saw about 3 minutes ago, Bosch has a slot machine right there in his lab. Just like the airport in Vegas, only with fewer hookers. Smokescreen reveals that he has a special gizmo that shoots smoke. Wait, he actually has a different trick. This one cheats at gambling, which is obviously a thing you need when you're fighting an intergalactic space war. And so, since we've all seen Rain Man, we know exactly what happens next. Definitely Space Vegas. So Bosch shrinks down the other Autobots and sticks them into his stinky glass shoebox in the meantime. Alright, it's a bit of a goofy concept, but I gotta give some credit here. First of all, we're on a somewhat exotic space adventure, an episode type of which I'm generally a fan. And we're pretty much concentrating on a single character. There's no conflict with the Decepticons shoehorned in here like there so often is. It's just Smokescreen and this weird alien dude for most of the episode, which is pretty bold for a show that's supposed to be selling us as many toys as it possibly can at all times. Bosch eventually wanders into the lair of Lord Gaikini. This lair naturally features a gladiator pit, and a weaselly little bouncer with an eye patch. Lord Gaikini himself looks absolutely nothing like Jabba the Hutt. Honest. Gaikini offers up a small loan, at the standard ridiculous mobster interest rate, and holds the lifeless Autobots as collateral. So their pockets sufficiently filled for the moment, Bosch and Smokescreen head to the casino, and within minutes they have enough to pay off Gaikini and send the Autobots on their way. But since no character on television can ever stop gambling when they're ahead, Smokescreen refuses to budge. And naturally, he ends up losing it all. Since they couldn't raise the necessary funds within Gaikini's payment period of 1 hour, he seizes the Autobots and decides to fight them in his arena. Oh, and the monster things in the arena? They're called Animalians, which is a pretty stupid name. But then we hear what the creepy little toadie's name is, and we forget all about that.
Follow them, Slizardo.
So Astrotrain lands on the other side of the planet. Oh, damn it. Now I have to take back my praise. Stupid toy commercial. Except, here's an Autobot who doesn't even have a toy, for some reason. So I guess it's a push. Wait a minute. Smokescreen, one of these Conehead guys, and Astrotrain all have the same guy doing their voice. Is that why this episode is casted the way it is? Could they only afford one of their regular voice guys this week or something? The new guy's name is Defcon. He sounds a lot like Cup, but we don't know who that is yet, so never mind. Apparently he's a bounty hunter, though his backpack does not appear to have jets. Meanwhile, the Coneheads visit Gaikini, and we discover that among Megatron's other duties, he's also a crime boss.
We've been hearing stories about you, Lord Gaikini. Stories that make Megatron very unhappy. Stories? What kind of stories? That you have been skimming energon off the top.
You know, I really don't think I have a problem with this whole concept, if not for the ridiculous coincidences involved. Gaikini fixes the fight by giving the Autobots some unstable energon, which, I mean, since we're in some kind of pulp crime novel now, fits perfectly. They're going to take a dive. Oh look, Smokescreen's rescue plan involves a cloud of smoke. We all know what happens next. The Decepticons and Gaikini have captured the Autobots. Smokescreen and Defcon rescue them and the day is saved. Smokescreen asks Defcon if he'd be willing to come to Earth with him, but he declines. Apparently he needs to stay out here, doing his bounty hunting thing out there where there aren't any humans. Hey, wait. Do we have to go home with the Autobots? Can't we follow Defcon instead? Please? Show? Oh, I will say the ending wasn't so terrible, though. Since the Autobots were given the equivalent of space roofies, they have no memory of what's happened this entire time, which allows Smokescreen the opportunity to talk them into stopping off at, I don't know, Space Atlantic City, I guess, for more gambling. Because he's a total degenerate. It's funny, you see. He has a serious addiction.
Give us the Autobots, Ramjet. How about some laser beams instead?